What to expect for property management in the summer? Well, I don't know about the rest of the nation, but here in Las Vegas and Southern Nevada, it is hot, hot, hot. So that is the good news. Basically, what we're seeing is about 15 days as far as average days on market, which is wonderful. It could go as high as 21. So 21 to 15 days is basically what you're looking at for days on market in the summer. The properties that are going to rent out the fastest in the summer are going to be your single family houses. 3-bed, 4-bed, 2-car, 3-car garage. Doesn't have to have a big backyard, but a decent sized backyard and somewhat landscaped. I'm not a big fan of throwing in a bunch of plants and shrubs that can die because residents don't usually keep up with the landscaping, but pavers, rock, some desert tolerant plants maybe around the back side of it, but just somewhere where you can go out there and maybe throw a chair and an umbrella or let the dog go out and just enjoy your rental. So those are going to be in the ballpark of probably around 18 to 2100 as far as the rental price. The thing that is going to suffer the most the summer of 2026, let's say in property management, condos. So if you have a condo and you are on the rental market, strongly suggest that you make that condo, prepare it to be fresh, clean, updated, modern. You don't have to go in and do thousands and thousands of dollars of upgrades, but do not get cheap on the painting. The painting needs to look fresh and clean. If you can upgrade the baseboards, upgrade the baseboards. If your flooring needs upgraded, that's going to be a place where you're going to want to spend some money. I'm always a believer in your gooseneck faucet for your kitchen. That makes a big difference. And then because you are in the summer and the property is vacant, if you haven't already, you may want to look for ceiling fans. The condo market is weak, and I imagine it's going to stay weak for at least the next couple of years. And the reason it's weak is because everything in Southern Nevada has got really nice apartments that have been built. And these apartments, my gosh, they are resort style. It's almost like you're going into an upscale hotel. You walk in, it's got this gorgeous lobby. It's got a community center, which usually has maybe a pool table, foosball table, ping pong. It then goes into an exercise room where they'll have yoga classes or meditation classes. You'll have your community pool, a lot of times community pool and a lap pool. So, and then of course, outdoor barbecue. They have lots of outdoor barbecue, lots of canopies to sit under and enjoy. So when you are looking at an apartment compared to a condo is individually owned, and you have a lot of competition with that resort style apartment. And they have been built over the course of the last 5 years. They're everywhere and they're still going. They haven't stopped. They're trying to keep up with what they consider a housing shortage here in Southern Nevada. And we did have a housing shortage. So a bunch of the big name apartment builders went in, bought the land, put the permits in, and now you're starting to see the finished product. So that hurt the condo owner. I know. It doesn't mean that you're not going to get the condo rented. It does mean though that 15 to 21 days, probably not going to be the condo market. Price it really competitive, probably going to be around 30 to 45 days. And that's if you're competitively priced with a really good product. If you are going to try and push the market, or if your product is not fresh, clean, and a little bit upgraded, unfortunately, I think you're going to sit on the market for quite a while. Now let's talk about what else is happening as far as the summer property management 2026, Southern Nevada. A lot of people have pulled their rentals, put them on the market to see if they could sell, and they haven't been successful. The real estate market is very flat. So after a couple of months, they have pulled it from the for sale and they have brought it back into the rental world. So we are seeing a little bit more inventory. Before, when we were going into the summer months, our inventory went below 3,000 and it creeped up to around 32. Well, it is now at 36. So that inventory, I believe, is not necessarily from new investors per se. There are a few that have come on board, but most of them are owners that tried to sell the property. They didn't get what they wanted. And so therefore they're using the rental market to buy them a 1, 2, maybe 3 years and let the market come back. So we are seeing a little bit more inventory. We're up to 36. That's a big number. You do have to be careful when you're at 36, 37, even at 4,000 available rentals. And those are just going to be single family, condo, and townhome. We do not incorporate any of the apartments or the high rises. We are incorporating things that are listed in the multiple listing service, Southern Nevada, condo, townhome, or single family. So what else? Well, interest rates being where they are has made it difficult for investors to buy into Southern Nevada and actually get a really good return on their money. Now, I'm a believer that buying real estate at any time is a good thing. You just have to possibly be in the long-term game and not the short-term game. But being long-term, long picture thinking, if you buy even when the interest rates are a little high, think 30% down. 30% down should cover your PITI. And maybe the HOA, you might be a little bit negative for the first year, but after that, I think you're going to be able to be positive as far as what the rent can bring in. And then look at the positive. The positive of owning real estate, somebody else is paying the majority of that mortgage, if not all of it. The appreciation is going to happen because there is still a ton of growth happening here in Southern Nevada. There are big name companies looking to Las Vegas to expand to. Why? Because we have a great tax base for all the corporations and we have land. A lot of other really metropolitan places, they don't have the land that we can offer for the building of what you want. So we're still developing, we're still growing. That appreciation will still be there for those. So you buy it, you might be $100, $200 negative every month for the rent for the first year. Rents go up, you become even on the second year, and now you go into year 3 all the way to however long you keep it, and it is income producing. Now, granted, 5 years ago, I could have been doing this video and I'd be like, yeah, you could put 20% down and you're going to be positive every month. Well, as you know, the market changes, prices have gone up, interest rate has gone up. It's just kind of the nature of the beast. But is real estate a great investment? Absolutely. Brick and mortar is going to be anything you're going to put your money into if you're looking at the long game. All right, so we covered the what is going to rent and how quick. We've covered condos not necessarily renting out as fast as single family. We've covered the fact that we've got a little bit more inventory coming into the end of the summer. And we've covered, is real estate still a good investment? And it really is. So the only other thing I would have to say is buy real estate. And we're always here to help you rent it out if you need it.